All right. So it would at least appear on paper that their primary competition this year is BYU, as it was a year ago. BYU also went 12-2, 8-1 in conference. Their only losses all season long were to Texas Tech. Neither one of those games was particularly close.
Yep.
But it seems as if they are loaded for bear and they're coming back for more in 2026. We just mentioned they don't play in the regular season, which is nice for BYU. I kind of feel like this year's BYU preview is incredibly straightforward. It's the passing game and it's the defense.
Sure.
I would suspect we'll get into that shortly. But before we do, here's a little bit of context that I think is important. A, BYU got to 12 wins for just the 5th time in school history after winning the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Also, B, Kalani Sitake did not leave, despite, I think, credible reporting that he was interested in that Penn State job, but back at BYU. C, it is a team that is top 20 nationally in terms of returning production, a lot of which is on defense. D, 17 starters earned some form of an all Big 12 honor, and 7 of them graduated, but 10 of them are all back. So everyone who could be back on that rung of talent is back.
It's impressive.
And it goes without saying, I'm not even going to make this its own letter, but let's say D again, to put a bow on all this. They should be very, very good. It's a big team. It's a very big team physically, but I think in terms of talent level, they should again be very, very good.
Yeah. The question to me is, are they built to beat Texas Tech in a more obvious way this year? They have Notre Dame. There's a clear meaty middle to this schedule. But I think you nailed it, right? The big bodies on offense should be good. The backfield should be able to run the ball. The combination of Bachmeier and LJ Martin should be very, very good. It is absolutely reasonable to expect Bachmeier to take the next step forward as a passer after looking very good as a true freshman for the most part. There were stretches where you're like, what is that? But you can't really ask for more out of a true freshman quarterback. Thrust into that situation, by the way, and he was at Stanford, and he was like, it was very impressive, everything he did, especially since he weighs, 140 pounds? Is that what I said last year? Erroneously.
He's like 100 pounds heavier.
He just has a baby face. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
He's a big kid.
He's a big boy.
I'm with you. Yeah.
So offensively, I don't have the exact same question as I have with Texas Tech, but you would like for a team, if they're now multiple years into a playoff conversation as being just outside and looking to take that next step, you say to yourself, okay, what's missing? And so last year, obviously, was an ability to beat Texas Tech. But if you look internally, it's if Bachmeier is taking that next step in confidently throwing the ball downfield, to whom is he throwing the ball? Where is the speed? Where is the receiving talent? I know that they're looking at tight ends and multiple tight end sets, and they're looking at Big Ten backups to be the answer there. Walker Lyons and Roger Saliapaga from Oregon. And both of those dudes have obvious talent. Oregon, I'm sure, would have liked to have kept Roger Saliapaga as their second tight end. But what are they doing to keep teams honest downfield as receiver gets less experienced and perhaps less explosive? And if Texas Tech was able to sort of dictate the line of scrimmage last year to some degree on offense, and BYU is not quite as impressive and experienced up front on defense as they were last year, the question is like, okay, how are they developing and how are they accommodating that fact? Linebacker should be extremely strong once again. We'll see on the secondary, but there's a good base layer. The edge should be good. The linebacking core should be excellent, and they bring in the Cal transfer, Cade Uluave.
Uluave, yes, I love that name.
Thank you.
Just rolls off the tongue.
So that next step to me is where are the big plays coming from on offense, and is the beef up to the task on defense?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I mean, look, the engine of this offense is undeniably Bachmeier and LJ Martin running behind a really good offensive line. As you said, They will be a very good rushing team. Again, I don't expect they're going to wander too far away from that type of physical offense that has been really successful for them.
Right.
We're going to see a lot of that. The question for me is the passing game. It is the passing game. Now, I think you can make the case for whatever you make of bowl games. I think Aaron Roderick, their offensive coordinator, did open it up did put a little bit more on Bear Bachmeier's plate in that game, to the point where with what they've seen in the springs thus far, they've talked to think about, they feel good about what he's doing pre-snap. They feel good about him getting the ball out a little quicker. Even though it wasn't a monster season, Bear Bachmeier had a really high completion percentage. So I think there is a lot to build on, even if we didn't fully see it a year ago. But for sure, that evolution, just as it was the case with Texas Tech and Will Hammond and how that might evolve in the passing game as the season goes on, I think that is doubly true for Bear Bachmeier and BYU. This year's crop of pass catchers is definitely physically bigger. I don't know if they're going to be more explosive. I definitely don't think they're on the same level as Texas Tech. But again, that evolution for me on the offensive side of the ball is going to be really, really interesting to chart.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I should mention, I did fact check while you were saying that. David Bailey did not play for Georgia Tech in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which probably can add to the comfort of going downfield confidently a little bit more.
Correct.
In fact, none of the Texas Tech defensive linemen were playing for Georgia Tech that day. So, yeah, I mean, look, it's what are you comfortable with risk-wise? And that's the next step for BYU, is closing the gap. And should mention, it is a very obviously meaty middle to this schedule. TCU at Iowa State. I'm not very high on the Clones right now. Notre Dame before they travel to UCF, and UCF has a bye the week before they host BYU in the Bounce House.
That's Trap City right there.
They have whatever ASU is this season, which I think there will be a certain amount of danger to the Sun Devils.
A week before the Holy War,
mind you. A week before the Holy War on the road. Yep. Obviously, it's not a distance thing. It's an environment thing.
It's an environment thing.
So it is a tricky stretch for BYU. And to be fair, those teams have to play BYU, who's really good.
7 home games, 5 road games, notably no Texas Tech, no Kansas State. But among the teams that you are listing off there, these are all top 35 caliber teams. I've got them at 9-3, 10-2, somewhere in that range. I feel better about 10-2 than I do 9-3.
I'm with you.